Okay, welcome back to FTL. We're doing a playthrough with the Mantis ship this time, and when we left off I was just about to leave Sector 2 and head on to Sector 3, so let's do that. We could either head to the Engi homeworlds or the Engi controlled sector. They're both friendly sectors, so we'll go to the homeworlds. That'll give us a couple more options for navigating later on. And I don't want to forget to just give all my guys a once over, and let's answer this distress beacon. Yeah, let's look for that ship. Alright. We came across the starting point of the crystal ship unlocking quest again. I'm not really interested in trying to unlock that with this particular playthrough, just because I'm actually using an edited save file that has that unlocked anyway, just for the sake of completion. So I'm actually going to take the weapon and scrap instead of the stasis chamber here. We got an ion blast, which is nice. The ion blast is not as good as the Mark II ion blast that I showed off in the Engi run, but it's still a nice weapon to have. Here we have another rebel fighter. So it's going to be the standard song and dance here. Just send my crew in and murder their dudes. Yeah, the enemy AI, for whatever reason, really likes targeting your oxygen, even though that's rarely an instantaneous threat. It may just be because then it kind of ties up one of your other crew members trying to get it repaired, but it doesn't seem like the best tactic to me. We get a good amount of scrap for that. I'm going to bring my boarders home. And let's see, yeah, there's a store right down there, so let's go check out this store. Okay, we've got stealth weapons, which prevent your weapon fire from disrupting your cloak. It's nice to have, but not super important. Same thing with the reverse ion field, which I talked about in an earlier playthrough. I could buy cloaking right now, or drone control, because I've got a lot of scrap, but I actually think I'm going to wait and buy cloaking later on in this run, just to see what happens. So I'm going to repair all of my damage. I'm doing great on fuel and ammunition. So instead, what I'm going to do is upgrade my weapons systems a couple times. You can see that this very first weapon upgrade actually costs 60 scrap, and then from there it goes down to 25. Again, I think this is like a game balance issue. And I don't think it's a problem, but it is just something to be aware of when you take out a ship that only has one weapon slot unlocked to start with. With 2 weapon slots available, that's okay, but I'd really like to have a few more, so I'm just going to buy as many as I can, and then upgrade my sensor package as well. So now I'll be able to actually see what kind of crew are on enemy ships, which is always good. I don't really have enough power to run everything and use my weapons at the moment, but like I said in an earlier playthrough, reactor upgrades are very cheap early on, so I'm not too worried about getting the scrap to do that. And here we can see that the crew on the ship are 2 Engi and a Zoltan, so this is going to be a very easy fight. Yeah, and now that my boarders are getting very, very good at hand-to-hand combat, they just take down enemy crew members really quickly. I'm going to bring them back. They've been targeting my medbay a lot in this playthrough as well. I'm not sure if the enemy's tactics change based on what kind of ship you're flying. I know with the Federation cruiser that has a special weapon, they will often make targeting that special weapon a priority, but I'm not positive as to whether or not it affects their decision-making for targeting other kinds of ships. So we got a little bit more scrap. I'm immediately going to buy another unit of power. That way now, if I turn off my medbay, I can turn my hull laser 2 on, which will be nice. If I come across, say, an automated rebel scout ship or something like that, I'll be able to do quite a bit more damage. Here they're offering to sell us fuel for a slight discount, but I'm doing really well on fuel, so I'm going to ignore that. I could visit that store down there, but I've been getting a lot of stores so far this playthrough. I'm not too interested. Here we are invited to participate in a Zoltan research study. We agree to do so, and we get some more free scrap, which, again, I'm going to dump immediately into more power. So now we have our basic laser powered up and our hull laser too, which is always nice. Actually, what I'm going to do is go into my equipment page, and I'm going to swap out that basic laser for the ion blast just for now, because that also only requires 1 power, and it'll be handy for taking out enemy shields and such. Here we get some free scrap and a free system repair drone, aka more free scrap. Now I am actually going to upgrade my door system, because that first upgrade is only 20 scrap, so it's cheap, and even just having 1 extra level in your doors can make a big difference when you're dealing with enemy boarders or a fire on your ship. Here we have another pirate trying to bribe us. It's a human and a Zoltan. These guys do not stand a chance. I mean, yeah, they barely even managed to take one of my crew members down to half health. And with that crew member is also maxed out as far as hand-to-hand combat skill goes, so that's good news. Power up my medbay so they can heal. And keep jumping around. More pirates, more rejected bribes. This time they have a crew teleporter, but good lord, they only sent over a Zoltan, and he teleported right into where my Mantis were lurking. Very bad news for him. I'll just send them up to heal up real quick, just for thoroughness sake, and then I will go take care of their remaining crew member. And there we go. We got some scrap and a free weapon, firebomb. I probably won't use the firebomb. It does what it sounds like it does. It will teleport one of your missile ammunition onto their ship and explode, starting fires. I don't use them, really. I feel like that weapon slot and that ammunition could be better used for doing other things. And here we are at the exit point. We get some more free scrap and another free drone. This is good. It seems to be being pretty generous with the drone drops in this playthrough, so maybe I will focus some of my upgrades on getting drones instead of, cloaking and lasers like I have been the last few times. Here we could go to the Zoltan homeworlds, but because Zoltan ships have that extra shield which prevents teleportation until you take it out, I'm actually going to go to the Slug nebula. There's more of a chance of getting enemy boarders in here, but I don't know why I would be worried about enemy boarders with the crew that I've got right now. They would not last very long. And yes, here we come across an automated scout ship. This one has cloaking, so I'm going to want to make a point of keeping that shut down with my ion blast. And I will shoot at it with my hull laser at the same time. Once I get their weapons disabled, I'll retarget the hull laser to that empty room for the extra damage. But because that missile launcher is still up and running, I want to make sure I can take that out as quickly as I can. There. With that done, it's only got 3 hit points left anyway, but might as well make the most out of our weaponry. There we go. Got some scrap, and wow, we got a second small bomb along with the scrap from that station that we explored. Trying to decide what's more valuable at this point. I think because I can only carry 4 things, I'm going to swap out the small bomb for that system repair drone, because I know those only sell for 15 scrap, and I think the small bomb sells for like 20 or 25 at least. And there's a store right there, so let's go find out. Alright, let's fix up our ship, sell off all of the stuff that we're definitely not using. I'm going to keep the basic laser around just in case I need it later on. And actually, because I can afford it, I'm going to buy both drone control and cloaking, and sell that other system repair drone while I'm at it. I'm going to buy up the rest of their fuel as well, and buy 2 more points of power to power everything that we've got. And oh, hey, there's a fire on my ship. This is the danger of being in nebulas. You can't see everything inside your own ship, and there was a fire that had been burning there since the last jump that I didn't even know about. Thankfully, the reinforced doors prevented it from spreading, and I'll be able to put that out without a problem. But you can see now we are extremely well equipped for this early in the game. The real strength of the Mantis ship is that boarding bypasses all shields, it never misses, and you get a lot more scrap than you do from blowing up enemy ships, so you can get your ship really decked out very early on. At least on easy mode. I assume normal is probably much more challenging. We have an empty sector here, so I'm going to jump down this way. Yet another empty sector. I seem to hit a lot of these in nebulas. Here we have a Slug transport ship offering to sell us some stuff. If you ask to see the goods, they run you through this really long, essentially end-user agreement. And you can either say forget it and just leave, or you can continue to agree. And it turned out that this time, the whole time we were talking to their captain, he was getting ready to beam people onto my ship. That's going to turn out to be a mistake on their part. Because I can't see inside my ship, you might not be able to tell where they are, but if you watch the doors carefully, you can see that they're trying to break down the door to my captain's room. So I'll send my Mantis in there to take care of them before they can bust through. Sometimes with that event, if you go all the way through their big long spiel, they'll actually be honest and be like, hey, thank you for sitting through that. Most people don't. And then you'll be able to buy stuff from them. But other times, you'll get a negative outcome like we did. However, they are going to regret tangling with us, because 2 slugs, even in one-on-one fights like this, do not stand a chance against fully leveled up Mantis. And yeah, I saw a bomb go off in my door control room, so I thought I would send a crew member over there to check it out. It's very important when you can't see inside your own ship for whatever reason to periodically send one of your crew members to kind of walk around and check everything out, make sure there are no fires burning where you didn't notice them, that sort of thing. And while I'm at it, I'm going to send an Engie up there to help him deal with that, because, as I've said, Mantis real bad at fixing stuff. Just going to check out my equipment. Alright, cool. One thing you'll notice down here is that the Mantis ship comes with the Mantis pheromones augmentation, which means that my crew's movement speed is increased by 25%. It seems a little pointless to me. Mantis are already very fast, and I guess if you had a lot of rockmen that might make a difference, but I will probably sell that at some point if a better augmentation comes along that I want the space for. Here we have an enemy Mantis ship of its own. That means I'll probably be doing some Mantis on Mantis combat here. Yeah, you can see they've got one down there, but since my crew are leveled up in hand-to-hand combat, they should still win that fight. Getting a little unlucky with the weapon hits here. You can see he got my crew member down pretty low, but I was still able to win that fight. I'll send them in to heal up. Spending a fair bit more time doing repairs and damage control in this playthrough just because of the way I've been playing. And in that fight, I completely forgot that I had cloaking and I could have dodged that missile that they shot at me. So that was entirely my fault. I do that a lot when I buy cloaking early on. I just forget that it's there and I don't use it. We'll get all my guys healed up, and we'll keep jumping around. If you look, you can see that because we're in a nebula, the rebel fleet is not advancing as quickly as it normally does. This is a nebula sector, which means that they're not delayed as much as they are in a nebula that is in a normal sector, but it's still slower than it normally is. So that's handy. Here we get some people teleporting aboard my ship, but once again, I've got some very nasty crew members of my own. I'm going to have my Engi run up here, and I say he would be healing up, but they've actually disabled my medbay for now. This could make boarding their ship a little bit risky because my guys have taken some hits. So actually what I'm going to do is just straight up shoot these guys. I have enough power now that I can actually turn on all of my weaponry. So I'm going to fight these guys the old-fashioned way. Between the ion blast and my small bomb, yeah, their shields are going to be going down. And with the shield at least partially disabled, now I can hit them with my burst laser, or rather my hull laser. You can see the regular Ion Blast doesn't fire as quickly as the Ion Blast Mark II, which actually drastically reduces its effectiveness because generally shields will be able to recharge before the second Ion Blast will hit, so you can't just sit back and watch it take out enemy shields on its own. There we go. And got quite a bit of scrap for that, actually, which is always nice. I think at this point it's probably a good idea to actually upgrade my medbay and then give it an extra unit of power. That way I'll be able to heal my crew members more quickly. I'm also going to put a few points into upgrading my engine and powering it some more. That way my evasion will go higher. You can see it went from 22% evasion to 32%. And that 10% can make a noticeable difference. We have a store up here, so I'm going to make one more visit to a jump beacon before I check that out. And here we have a black market weapons dealer offering to sell us some unknown weaponry if we had the scrap for it. This is actually, I think it's maybe a 50-50 chance that either he'll be on the up and up and you will get some random nice weapon for a discount, or he'll be lying to you and he'll just straight up take your money and then you have to fight him. And you don't actually get the money back for destroying his ship, so I very rarely actually buy anything from these guys. Usually I will just straight up attack them. They've got enemy boarders, but two guys on one Mantis. Yeah, I should probably send my guys to help out. Since he doesn't have any experience in fighting, he's not actually going to be able to win a 2-on-1 fight. Whereas one of these guys might be able to against two humans. Alright, that's taken care of. I'm sending all three Mantis up to heal because I don't want my weapons room guy to get hit by a stray laser while I'm fighting the rest of their crew and get taken out. They took out my sensors, which does not matter because I'm not using them anyway. And we'll take care of the rest of their crew now. Yeah, they had one more Mantis on board. I don't know why they didn't teleport the Mantis over instead of their 2 human crew members, but whatever. Took out my drone control, which is not really an issue. You can see how much faster an upgraded medbay heals your crew. It's really nice to have. Now we've got everything fixed up. Let's go check out... Oh, there are 2 stores now. Okay. Let's see what they've got. Oh, they have quite a bit of stuff here. I'm not really interested in any of the weapons they have for sale, but I would like to buy that defense drone. So I'm going to go ahead and sell this basic laser. It's only worth 10 scrap, but that's 10 more scrap than we had right now. And I'm going to use that money to buy a defense drone and fix up my ship. So now I've got a drone, which is nice. I'd love to dawdle around up here more and get some more scrap and check out that other store, but the Rebel fleet is getting close to the exit beacon, so I think I need to start heading down in that direction. And we come across an enemy Mantis ship of their own, and these guys have 2 missile launchers, so I definitely need to remember that I have cloaking. There we go, I actually remembered. And this is a much closer fight. I think these bad guys might actually have a couple levels in hand-to-hand combat, because they came very close to taking out my dudes. I'm actually going to do a little bit of power juggling now so I can turn on that defense drone before those missiles come in, and hopefully take one of them out. Yeah, alright, that was good, I got one of them. Alright, now it is time to go finish these guys off. And another Mantis on board. So yeah, this is a totally Mantis-run ship, it looks like. Probably the most dangerous crew combination you can run into when boarding an enemy ship is a combination of Mantis and Rockmen, because the Rockmen, having all that extra health, will take a long time to take down. And meanwhile, if you're fighting a Mantis at the same time, he's doing, 50% more damage to your other guy, and it can be a much trickier fight than just fighting straight, humans or some other combination of species. That all taken care of, I'm going to jump closer to the exit. And here we have a slug ship. And because I'm not in the nebula, my sensors are working, so I can see that there's just a couple slugs on there. No threat whatsoever. I'll power my engines back up and take these guys out. Nope, gotta remember to cloak and dodge that missile. I didn't cloak fast enough. But we got a whole bunch of scrap out of the deal, so that's okay. And with that, it looks like it's time to go to the exit of this sector. And I will see you guys next time.